So my name is Wyatt Cheng. I work as a senior technical game designer on Diablo 3. If I was to say one thing about patch 2.4, particularly for you, is I do think 2.4 adds something for everyone. And I think that's really important. It's not just about any one particular audience, but a little something all the way across the board.
And I'm Rob Foote. I'm a senior game producer on Diablo, and I definitely echo Wyatt's sentiment. The thing I'm looking forward to is getting some more space for my items.
Nice to meet you guys, really.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thanks. So, our first question?
Yes.
Okay, so for patch 2.4, we have the apparition of a new zone, Greyhound Island, but also an expansion of the areas that already exist, such as Eternal Woods or the Warrior Quarters. We can truly see here a desire of enriching the adventure content. What about the story?
There's little hints of story actually in Vioric's Manor. We kind of hinted at it a little bit at the panel, but we didn't want to spoil
everything. Yeah.
But there is a little surprise for people who really enjoy the story.
Is it stories that already exist, or that will lead
There's a little bit of a surprise.
Okay, surprise.
There's a little bit of a surprise, yeah. And I think the set dungeons feature is really neat because when you so this actually a lot of people have been asking this. How do I get the clue for set dungeons to start? And that's actually in Vioric's Manor as well. Okay. You go into Vioric's Manor, and then the stairs to the right are cleared out. So you move off to the right up the stairs, and then if you're wearing a 6-piece set, you go up to a lectern. And when you click that lectern, the page of the set dungeons comes out with a little bit of a clue, a riddle, that will send you all around the world. And so that feels very defining as well, kind of draws you into the world.
I think also a lot of the new spaces you mentioned, it's really interesting how content creation works on the Diablo team. We really listen to each other between disciplines of art, engineering, production, and design, and some of the changes we've done or some of the additions we've done are actually like there's labors of love behind it on the art side, where the artists were like, oh, we really always wanted to open that area up. Can we do it? And it's like, all right, let's do it. And then now, and that happens. It's really interesting how development works.
I want to ask you about long-term goals. It's really important to me to, when I'm playing Diablo 3, right? Right now, I don't feel that I'm killing this monster for something greater. And this set dungeons, for me, it's this long-term goals. Mm-hmm. And when I saw 175 bounties, I was thinking, okay, it's something good for me, because maybe when I complete all of these bounties, I get something greater, treasure. Do you think about this?
I think one thing for me that I look forward to is this idea of season journey is something really is coming in 2.4. I think it gives players a somewhat guided goal of what they should accomplish during a season, and they give you like rewards that basically will carry through, like huge rewards. Like a stash tab is a pretty significant reward. So I think that's one way that we do that.
I absolutely agree. I mean, a lot of people have been asking for more long-term goals. And in patch 2.3, we added Season Journey, and then patch 2.4 builds on that. Yeah. There's a cosmetic portrait frame that you get for doing your Season Journey. And the farther in the journey you get, the cooler the portrait frame looks. And in the current season, in patch 2.3, we released the Ruins of Sescheron, which was a whole new zone, and the portrait frame was themed around the Ruins of Sescheron. In patch 2.4, and there was also a pet that you got for doing the journey. It was a little frost hound. In patch 2.4, we're continuing that trend. There is a portrait frame that is themed around the forest. It's a forest-themed portrait frame, much like the new zone is a little foresty, and the pet that you get at the end of the first 4 chapters of the season journey is a Wickerman who looks like he came from the forest. Right, and so it's themed accordingly to the new zone being introduced this patch as well.
Okay. So we can see a new feature called set dungeons that can help player master their class and get some rewards. Why did you choose to develop this feature?
Players, a lot of players, like I mentioned earlier, just something for everyone. There is a huge number of people who play Diablo 3, and they're more than just entry level. Like they're getting to 70, and they're working on the early parts of their season journey, and they're collecting some legendary items, but they're not on the other extreme either, where they're pushing Greater Rift 65 or 70 and have all ancient items. They're in this area in between, and that's actually where most of the players are, where they just like relaxing at the end of a hard day's work and kill some monsters and slay some demons. And I think this is a fantastic feature where you can say, hey, congratulations, you've completed your 6-piece set. Here's a dungeon for you. Let's celebrate your 6-piece set.
I think honestly too, that's another reward from Season Journey that I'm really looking forward to. The fact that as you progress through this Season Journey in 2.4, you'll actually be able to get, over the course of the journey, all 6 pieces of a 6-piece set. So you'll get 2 pieces, then 2 pieces, and then the final 2 pieces at the end. For me, what I like about that is I think there are classes that maybe I haven't played as much. I mean, and thought that with one season, I could end up with a 6-piece set, guaranteed. If I go through the season journey for that class, that's going to incentivize me to try out a new class that maybe I haven't played in a while.
So let's talk about sets.
Yes.
I mean, every set has something greater in it. Big buff for skills. And you present yesterday new set.
Yes.
To cure set domination, right?
The no set.
The 2 rings?
The rings, yes.
Yes. It's called...
it's the Wailing Host and the Litany of the Undaunted, Legacy of Nightmares.
Yeah. And who did this?
The design team works together. I don't want to say it was any one person.
I think you hit on it too. In your part of the panel yesterday, you talked about being inspired by listening to the audience. Like some of the comments from our audience was like, I have these amazing legendaries, but
let's use it.
Yeah, I'd love to use them, but unfortunately I can't break my set. And I feel like responding to that and coming up with a really cool way to explore new gameplay. Like people, I have no idea what people. The
players have been asking for a way to assemble their own legendaries for a very long time, and we also know another suggestion we get from players all the time is that they would like an alternative to wearing focus and restraint. So we said, well, we've got, the Wailing Host and the Litany of Undaunted, so let's do something really interesting as an alternative to focus and restraint. And actually, while we're on that topic, there's another jewelry set, the neck and the ring, the Traveler's Pledge and the Compass Rose. And that one's being reworked in patch 2.4 as well. It basically, if you're wearing that neck and that ring, it provides up to 100% damage or 50% damage mitigation. And so what happens is, while you're moving and walking, you get the defensive bonus. And when you stop moving and you're standing still, you get the offensive bonus. And it shifts slowly. It takes about 6 seconds for it to shift completely from one to the other. And so you get to kind of like change your play style depending on whether you need to be more defensive or more offensive at any given time. And that'll be another alternative to focus and restraint. Yeah, I think that'll be a lot of fun.
It's really important for progression, I think.
In a lot of ways, our goal is to put really fun tools in the player's hand, lots of toys to play with, and let the players figure out how to best use these toys, and play with them.
You can ask.
also we have the season rebirth, that is really a really interesting feature that helps players to keep their character from a season to another. Can you explain a bit more about this feature?
Yeah, actually, I was talking when I first was talking to Wyatt about it when he was kind of pitching this design. I wasn't sure. I'm like, well, you know, I'm not sure who's going to use this. But then upon further reflection and discussions with some of the friends and family I play with, they pointed out, this is made for you, Rob. And the reason I say that is I play mainly one main character. I have a few others, but basically there's one bard that I really love. I've been playing it since the very beginning. And every season, I really like the way Bard plays, so I'm interested to see. I'm interested
renewing a new bard.
A new bard. So my character list is several bards, and my brother's like, just you should use Rebirth, which is a great way of basically it takes all your items off your character, puts them in your stash for you, so they don't go away, and then you get to start at level 1 in the new season, carry that character through the entire season. At the end of the season, it comes back and becomes a regular character. So like for me, it is a great feature, especially like when you look at the hours played on your character. It's really hard to. I would never delete that character. I would never choose to do that. It's got so many hours.
So I don't want to
It's a
send it to a big.
Exactly. So
another thing about Rebirth is I've sometimes like players love coming back at the beginning of a season. And I know when a season's starting. I'm saying, okay, it's going to be this day at this time. And then I'll message one of my friends on Battle.net. You know, maybe it's someone and he's playing Hearthstone. And I'll message him, hey, are you going to play in the new season? And he'll be like, oh, I didn't know it was starting. Yeah, let's go. And he'll log in, and I'll say, great, jump in my game. And he goes, well, wait, I have to make a character. Oh, wait. I have to take care of my old stuff. Wait, let me delete my character from last season.
Yeah.
Oh, let me go through my stash and make some room for the mail. And then it's like 2 hours later. I mean, okay, I'm ready. I'm like, it's too late.
I'm already
I'm level 35. I'll catch up with you later. And we said,
you need to make it easy.
Make it easy. Your friends online, you want to join me in a game, hit the Rebirth button, jump in, everything's taken care of for you, so you can just play. I will add one really important point. You have 30 days to claim that mail. Otherwise, the items are deleted. So I just want to make sure we emphasize that people, public service announcement, people need to make sure they claim their items within 30 days.
Canine Cube, it's amazing cube. But I think that it's opened the way for better craftsmen, better crafts. And right now we have a new recipe site, right? And when you change these sets, you open the way for legendary items. Canine Cube right now can focus. I think you can focus right now on white and blue items. Do you have any plans to expand this Canine Cube?
The whole team, much like Rob was talking about how we work as a team and also with the community to get ideas, and there's been a ton of great suggestions for new ideas for the cube. We're just taking it one day at a time. In patch 2.4, there is a new recipe coming for the Kanai's cube. Have you saw the recipe?
Yeah.
You want me to should I recap it? Yeah. So you take an ancient item, and then a gem like a ruby or a topaz or an emerald or an amethyst, and a legendary gem, and you put them all in a cube, and your legendary gem is destroyed along with your
rank.
Gems. Yeah, and the higher the rank of the legendary gem, the more powerful the augment that is permanently attached to your ancient item. And you get 5 primary stat points for every rank of the legendary gem. So if I sacrifice, say, a rank 50 legendary gem, and it can be any legendary gem, then because it was a rank 50 gem, I can permanently add 250 strength, int, dex, or vitality to any ancient item.
So we choose these attributes after.
Well, it depends on the gem that you chose. If you put in a ruby, then you add strength. If you put in an emerald, you add dexterity. And so forth.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Global question. What other features improvements will you bring with patch 2.4?
I think the big winners there are Grey Hollow Island and set dungeons. I mean, those are huge features. I mean, we talk a lot about the little changes coming to various systems, but I mean, whole new area, and I think set dungeons is going to be a really big feature for a big chunk of players.
I agree. I mean, the set dungeons, it feels like it's an amazing capper, because like I feel like when you did complete your 6-piece set, you do feel like a big rush, like, oh, I did it. And now that we're kind of lengthening that celebration and making something to remember is really cool.
Yeah, it's funny. I was reading the forums yesterday, and one person said the biggest feature of patch 2.4 is that the damage numbers have been shortened. And I was like,
Really?
some people get happiest over sometimes the little things. So I mean, for it's different for every person. I'm excited about set dungeons.
I want to ask you about gold sync. Right now we have Canary Cube, where we could create portals to Git domain.
Yes.
And this is big buff for gold right now. Do you have any plans to increase the gold sync in some way?
Yeah, there's
you
a
have,
new
empowered drifts?
Yes, that's right. There's a new feature coming in patch 2.4 called Empowered Rifts. And the idea is that when you go to do a greater rift, it's like a greater rift, except that you can spend gold to empower the rift. The gold cost scales depending on the rift that you do. So the higher rift that you are trying to empower, the more gold it's going to cost. And if you successfully complete the empowered rift on time, you're going to get a 4th bonus roll to upgrade your legendary gem. And I mean, I think that actually works really, really well with the new Kanai's Cube recipe, where you're looking for high rank gems to sacrifice to augment your items. So the new use for gold as well as the new recipe kind of work together.
And do you think that 3 months for Season 5 is enough to complete all this new stuff?
We'll see. I mean, we've been basing a lot of this on kind of data and feedback that we've been receiving. We've had seasons as short as 7 weeks, and we've had a season almost 5, so 4.5. We should see how 3 feels.
So, about Season Journey, which was a really interesting feature brought in Season 4 for seasonal players. What can we expect for Season 5, for instance?
You want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, there's the 6-piece set that you're going to get, which is huge, and that'll be kind of pieced out 2 at a time throughout the journey. I think that's probably that's going to drive people to do it. But also, I would say, with the addition of being able to purchase your first extra stash tab, your new stash tab with gold, you'll be able to get another one by going through the season journey.
That's right.
Up to a maximum of 10. So I feel like every season, if you don't have 10 stash tabs, every season that comes out, that's definitely incentive for me to want to play that. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, players are getting new portrait frames in the season journey, new pet in the season journey. They get a guaranteed 6-piece set and a stash tab.
That's a strong incentive to play a season.
Time is short, so I'm just jump to hardest question. Necromancers. I really love Necromancers, so my question is, do you have plans for future expansions or only a patching? You want a patching game? And maybe we get some playable character in patch. True patch.
There's nothing to say on that.
We don't have any analysis to make beyond. And honestly, the team's been laser focused on getting 2.4 out. It's like all of our efforts right now are trying to get it up on the PTR. And like we mentioned in the panel, we're working very hard to try to make that happen next week, so that immediately after BlizzCon, people can go home from BlizzCon and play it on the PTR.
You like Necromancers, right?
Yeah, there is. It's interesting. There's a lot of inspiration that I draw on from Diablo 2, and one of the it's a great game. It's a great game. We're reworking different sets, right? And one of the sets that's getting a rework is the Thorns of the Invoker set for the Crusader. And I think players are really going to like the Thorns of the Invoker set. It makes Thorns matter again, the same way that Necromancer was able to do Thorns builds in Diablo 2. And one of my, so I had a lot of favorite builds in Diablo 2. I loved Thorns Necromancer. I also loved playing a Zeal Paladin. And the Thorns of the Invoker set allows you to play your Crusader a little bit like a Zeal Paladin as well. So you kind of get a little bit of Thorns build, you also get a lot of Zeal Paladin feel.
You must try it.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Another question. Last question. Last question.
The last one was the last question.
Yeah. And another. Progression from 1 to 70 is really fast, and when I need to get some sets, it's really fast too. So, do you have a plans to short or to expand this progression process? That when we just jump into the game, that we feeling that progression is moving forward, but not too fast. It's really important to longevity of the game.
I think a lot of players have actually really been enjoying the progression rate. You know, going to 70 fast, getting your items. You know, I mentioned earlier that the legendary items that we put in the game are like toys, and we want to and candy, and we want to make sure everyone gets lots of candy, everyone gets to play with lots of toys. But some players really want to increase the power of their character even more, so that's why we added ancient items.
We just want to feel
is you have toys, but I can make better toys. And I think that the new Kanai's Cube recipe that lets me permanently augment an ancient item, that feature, I told you there's something for everyone. That feature is really intended for the serious players. They've gotten to 70, they've gotten all their pieces, they've gotten all ancient items, and they want even more after that. Well, that's what the new Kanai's Cube recipe is really about, is giving them something as well.
Thank you very much.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.